Man, what's happening, Fantasy World? It's your boy, Hot Soup. And I'm coming to you live with my favorite episode of I Told You So. Woo! We about to talk about it, man. Let me tell y'all something. In week 14, the soup was cold as hell. Needed a microwave, but the power was out. Yeah, man. I was hot. And then I was not. All those top guys that were supposed to get it in this week did not. Hey, check it out. We're about to talk about it. Our top 5 starts in week 14. We started with Jakobi Meyers. Now, Soup got lucky on this one. Jakobi Meyers versus Tampa Bay ends up with 7 receptions, 67 yards for 10.2 fantasy points. And it ends up being a hit because he was number 30th overall. That is a wide receiver 3. 31st would be a miss. 30th is a hit. Boy, at least I got some luck from somewhere this week. Jakobi Meyers ends up 30th overall in fantasy scoring. He had a decent day, could have had a bigger day, but O'Connell got injured. They had a backup quarterback in there for a whole half. It is what it is, man. Chase Brown was our next player that I said you must start against Dallas defense. Dallas always giving it up on the ground, and they did in this one. Chase Brown last night on Monday Night Football ends up with 20 touches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. 21.3 fantasy points. This is a hit for the soup. He was number 6 overall in fantasy scoring. Man, I told you so. Our number 3 player on our top 5 start list was Calvin Ridley, and he got close as a hit, but he was a miss. Calvin Ridley versus Jacksonville ends up with 7 receptions for 59 yards, 9.4 fantasy points. Will Levis, old janky ass, only threw for 171 yards. That's right. 60 of those yards went to Calvin Ridley. The Tennessee passing game was terrible. Tony Pollard was the only bright spot in that offense on Sunday. It is what it is. Calvin Ridley, 9.4 fantasy points, 32nd overall. This is a miss for the soup. Our number 4 player that I said you have got to get in your lineups, and you should have. Shots out to them San Francisco 49ers. Get them off the waiver wire. Get them in your lineups. Isaac Guerendo. Yes, sir. Isaac ends up with 17 touches, 128 yards, and 2 tutties. Ends up number 2 overall in fantasy scoring for running backs last week, 25.8 points. It is a hit for the soup. Holla at your boy, man. I told you so. And our last player, not my fault. This guy gets injured in the beginning of the third quarter, misses a whole half. Aiden O'Connell versus Tampa Bay ends up with 110 yards total. 1 TD and 1 pick, 7.6 fantasy points, 24th overall in fantasy scoring for quarterbacks. I cannot predict injury. It is what it is, man. Could have had a bigger day. They was down. He was going to have to pass, but he couldn't. Man, those are our top 5 starts for week 14. I told you so episode. I hit on 2 and missed on 3. Not a great day, but it is what it is. Hot Soup's going to have better days. Fucking soup was cold. Cold soup in them top 5 starts. We're going to talk about our top 5 sits now. Number 1, this one killed me. I'm thinking the guy Brooks is starting to get work. Chuba Hubbard, they're going to lean back off a little bit, maybe 15 touches. That man had 30. Brooks re-tears his ACL, man. Oh, that's got to hurt. You come into the season coming off a torn ACL from college, you get drafted, high hopes for you coming in at the end of the season and making an impact. And on your 3rd, 4th game, you come out and re-tear the same ACL. I feel for him. I'm praying for him. Moment of silence for Mr. Brooks. And let's talk about Chuba Hubbard now. Chuba Hubbard versus Philly, a top 5 run defense, goes for 30 touches. They gave this man the ball 30 times. If I'd have known they was giving Chuba the ball 30 times, he would have been my top 5 starts. 107 yards, 1 touchdown, 18.7 fantasy points, ends up number 8 overall. This is a miss for the soup. For all those of y'all that I told you to bench Chuba and you benched him, man, I apologize, man. Y'all can cuss me out in the comment section. It is what it is. Cold Soup's second play, Jalen Waddell. Wado bust my ass against those New York Jets. 9 receptions, 99 yards, ends up 16.4 fantasy points and 14 overall. That is a wide receiver, too. That is a miss for the soup. Great job, Jalen Waddle. Way to make me look like a whole damn fool. Our next player. And I had to go back and pick him off the waivers, man. I got him. I was down on him, and then I was like, you know what? I gotta go get him anyway. Let me go back and get him. What am I doing? I was dropping Brock Purdy in all my leagues last week, and I was like, you know what? Let me go back and get him before Sunday start. Went back and got him in like 3 or 4 leagues that I needed a QB. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize. San Francisco, baby, I apologize. Brock Purdy versus Chicago. I was thinking, man, there's something wrong with that shoulder. He hasn't been the same. I seen that snow game. I got scared. Man, Brock Purdy comes out against Chicago, a good secondary, throws for 336 and 2 TDs. Brock Purdy, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, good for 22.1 fantasy points, number 6 overall quarterback in fantasy scoring. I missed y'all. I apologize. Go get Brock Purdy. Get him back in your lineups, man. I was a damn fool, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Thank God I got him back. Our next player, I told you to bench this guy. You should have, and I hope you did, and I know you didn't. Isaiah Pacheco versus Los Angeles Chargers. 16 touches, 61 yards, just as I predicted. He'll get some work, but Kareem Hunt's going to steal some of that. He probably won't see a full workload until week 19 when the actual true NFL playoffs begin. Isaiah Pacheco ends up number 29 overall, almost a running back 4 this week. Fringe running back 3. He was a hit for me. If you started him, I try to tell you so. And our last player who burned the hell out of me, Davante Adams versus Miami. Man, that man had 9 receptions, 109 yards, and a tutty, 21.4 fantasy points. Number 6 overall receiver in fantasy scoring. Davante Adams, man, you did your thing. Show my ass that I don't know what the hell I was talking about in week 14. It is what it is, man. Those are our top 5 sits. Just went over our top 5 starts. This is my favorite episode of I Told You So. Get in those comment sections. Let Soup have it if you know you told me so. But if not, I told you so. Yeah. Come check us out for our top 5 starts, top 5 sits episode later on this week for week 15. Go check us out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like and subscribe. It's your boy Soupy. And I'm out.